And happy Valentine's Day to everybody, including my Valentine, who looks very Valentine-ish.
What happened to you? You look rather blue.
I'm just nothing but trouble.
There you go.
That's me today. I'm trouble. It's a great day. We've got big snows. I think 101 million people are under winter storm warnings for the next 2 days.
But I don't think we're going to get any. We're right on the edge.
We just get like 6 to 9 inches, they say. So
we have to see if they believe it.
Hey, we just got back from an awesome winter camp out on the Lake Michigan shoreline. We went all the way up to Sleeping Bear Dunes in the winter and had a great time.
But the best time was had by Bo.
Oh, my goodness. Bo is in heaven.
He was in heaven.
Yeah, he was pretty tired today, but he's rested up again. Yeah, he did. We did about a mile hike every morning, an hour or so hike in the woods in the snow. He just loved it. We were the only campers at one of the parks on Lake Michigan that we were at, and there were only 2 other campers at the other one we went on out by Sleeping Bear Dunes, and one of those was our friends Rick and Leanne, who told us about the Platte River campground up there near the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes in northern Michigan, and nobody in the campground. Awesome. And we even had a heated bathroom.
I was kind of dreading taking a shower because I was wondering, is it really heated? How warm is it in there? But the water was warm and it was heated and it was a delightful shower.
Yep. I'm going to take my glasses off. I don't think I need them. I can see almost.
Oh boy,
almost
look out, everybody.
Yeah, watch out for the names. I always get the names bad if I don't have my glasses on. Hey, we want to welcome you to Ask Us Anything. We'll be on here with simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube RV Lifestyle Facebook group, the YouTube RV Lifestyle Facebook page, the Facebook page, the Facebook group, and also our Facebook supporters. So 3 different areas of Facebook we're going to. And then, of course, our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube. So simultaneously to all of those tonight. Now, there's a couple things that you should know. This is Ask Us Anything about the RV lifestyle, but it helps us to follow a couple of procedures so we can see you. There's a lot of questions coming. But before those questions, we want everybody right now to click that little thumbs up sign on the video. Give us a thumbs up and send us some YouTube love so that YouTube will take note of that, and then they'll notify other people that we're on. Right now, let's bring in Phyllis Kerr, and Phyllis is going to help moderate all of this stuff and keep us going with the questions. And how you doing? You getting snow there in Iowa?
It's just the tundra. We're just like -2 is the high today, and and that's without the wind chill and all that. It's just ridiculous. But I was laughing at your introduction because you're saying the Facebook page here and there and everywhere, and then I thought, and then live streaming to Mars one day. So maybe
one day. Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of people here on YouTube watching this, but there's also a lot of people from Facebook, and the only person that gets to see both of those comments is you guys, Mike and Jennifer and me, right here inside this StreamYard interface. So if your question doesn't seem to be getting answered, just know that there's lots of places where the questions are coming in from, and he'll get to them eventually, especially if you put
4 sources sending us in questions.
Yeah. And so you might be sitting on a Facebook supporter group and there's only 3 of you over there, and your question's been sitting there for 10 minutes. Please just be patient. It's in the mix somewhere.
Yep.
And if you put question in all caps, it'll be easier to see in the feed. And if you have a comment, you can put comment. And by the way, I just want to tell Mike and Jen real quick, there's lots of comments here on hoping that you both had great birthdays and happy Valentine's Day to both of you. So there's lots and lots of comments about that.
Oh, we did. We kill all 3 of these special days in 1 week for us. My birthday is the 8th, Jennifer's is the 12th, and of course Valentine's Day is the 14th, and we had a great time. And I see there's something else from our YouTube. Do you want to explain what a super chat is that just came in from somebody named PJ, I think?
Yeah, and I'm trying to find it in the stream because there's so many comments and it's highlighted for us. There it is. It's right there.
PJ, hey.
Yes, and so that's only available on the YouTube side, and that's called a super chat, and you can make it for just about any amount of money. And YouTube gets a little bit of that, and Mike and Jen get a little bit of that, and it puts your question to the top of the feed. It's easier for us to see, and PJ did it just exactly that. So you can start with this one.
All right. I was inspired by your channel to do a winter trip to Mackinac Island last week. It was awesome. Have you had a chance to do that yet? Happy trails. I would love to go up. We've always talked about going to Mackinac Island in the winter time. So you did a winter trip to Mackinac Island last week. So
That's
I wonder
awesome.
where you stayed.
Yeah, the island pretty much shuts down. They keep one restaurant open and one hotel or motel open, and they sometimes will rotate about them, but all the rest is shut down. There are quite a few people, all construction workers on the island, doing renovations and repairs that they couldn't get to during the busy season. But it's a great place. It's instead of horses, it's snowmobiles that everybody uses. The ferries are open as long as the water is not frozen.
And it's really fun when it freezes.
When it totally freezes over, they make an ice bridge.
Yeah. And then you use snowmobiles.
They take the old Christmas trees that, that are all dead, that everybody had for Christmas trees, and they mark a path across the ice 5 miles across the Straits of Mackinac to St. Ignace. And they even set up bars and restaurants along the way. And it doesn't freeze every year, but when it does, it's pretty exciting. So PJ, thank you for the super chat. That was awesome. We really appreciate the extra support. And you beat us to Mackinac in the winter. We're there a lot. It's one of Jennifer's favorite places.
Like I say, we've not been there in the winter.
Yeah, we would like to, but we were up camping this week in the winter in our RV, not too far from you, up by the Sleeping Bear National Lakeshore. So PJ, thank you so much for
and I'm so glad you had fun.
Yeah, we are too. Here's one from Ed.
The article about bears says to keep RV windows closed at night because they can even smell toothpaste from a distance. What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever had a close call?
No, we've had close calls with bears, never aggressive bears, but really close encounters. I mean,
very close,
a few feet away on hikes a couple of times. We've never had a problem with a bear trying to get in the RV. And, you got to take that toothpaste thing and keep your windows closed with a grain of salt. I mean, you can't keep your windows closed in your RV when it's in the middle of the summertime and hot. But the point is not to leave a lot of food around, to clean up your messes. Bears can get quickly acclimated to humans and get used to finding food, and they lose their fear. And then when that happens, they get put down, and we don't want that to happen. So we have never had a problem, but my advice to you is just try to keep your odors minimum and clean up.
I think in the old days, people used to brush their teeth and then spit, around you brush your teeth and spit on a bush or something.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because the toothpaste, bears like it, I guess. They are attracted to anything. I know I would not want to be in bear country in a tent or in just canvas between me and the bear.
Remember, we were up at Glacier. We had a lot of bears running through the campgrounds, and we were talking to the ranger, and she said that there had been a couple people camping not far from us, just around the loop, in a tent. And what was the story? The woman woke up.
The bear sat on their tent. It was sitting on her husband.
And he's pushing. You didn't know what. I thought it rained or something, and a pole came loose, and so it was a bear sitting on the tent.
And then the bears need to get put down when they lose their fear of people.
I think that guy took off, and they didn't catch him, so that's good. Here's a question from Merliel in Virginia.
All right. Do you have recommendations of companies that convert Toyota into camper minivans? Thank you.
I don't know anybody that does that. There are people who probably could do some work for you, but I would look for van conversion companies and go from there and ask them how to do that and go from there. Despina with the question.
Okay, at Henderson Beach State Park on Emerald Coast.
Oh, that's right near where our place is up
what
there.
What is your favorite seafood restaurant near here?
Oh, you ready? We got a list for you.
Oh, have not seen the sun in 5 days. I'm sorry about that.
When, she says. Soon. Love the landscape at Fort Pickens in Pensacola up the way. Well, that's our favorite area, the Emerald Coast. So my favorite is Louisiana Legnapp, which is right nearby you. Just come outside the gate, turn left, and you'll be right there. And that's it's kind of a Cajun seafood place. Great atmosphere, great food. And right now in the off season, they have a 2 can dine for $54 with wine. And what we really like there is the almond covered grouper, almond crusted grouper. I take it, not almond covered, almond crusted grouper.
I like Dewey Destin in Navarre.
Yeah, that's
There are 3 Dewey Destin
up towards Fort
restaurants,
Pickens. Navarre is between Destin and Pensacola.
I like that one.
And it's right
The
on the
best.
beach, and you can
Lightly
eat a table
fried
outside.
shrimp. You can sit outside.
Yeah,
It's nice.
the absolutely top 5-star seafood restaurant is Beauchamp's, which is a little bit further west than Louisiana Legnapp on 98. Awesome food, but it's pricey. It's very pricey.
Hard to get into.
But
as
Dewey
well.
Destin's, there's actually 3 Dewey Destins. There's one in Destin, right near Harbor Walk, and then there is one right to the opposite side of the road on the bay, on kind of the inlet between the Gulf and the bay. And that's kind of that was the original one. And it's on like old dock pilings, and it's a lot of fun. And that's
Sit
also
outside.
good. Sit outside.
And picnic tables.
And then for another top-rated place, the Marina Cafe, right there also along Restaurant Row, as we call it.
And then you need to get there between 5 and 6. So because you buy one entree, you get the second one free.
Yep. So there's this, I mean, you can't go wrong with seafood there. Steve Whitesock.
We are considering the LTV Wonder rear twin bed. Would like to know the dimensions of the shower. Haven't found that info online.
It's tight. It's 6'5" inside the height. There is a skylight on it. There's room to turn around and to wash. But I don't know what the square of the box is, but
I was curious about that the other day because I was trying to figure out if all of them had the same size shower
I think they
or
do.
not.
I think they do for
And I
economy's sake.
saw it listed for one of the leisure travel vans, and then I was trying to find it on the others, and I couldn't find it. But if you're really curious,
You go to their website.
contact them.
I don't know if they'll have all the inside dimensions, but I know the inside height on that shower is 6'5". So hope that helps you, Steve. Christopher Schwartz.
Do you believe that propane will be expensive this year?
Negligibly, maybe somewhat. I don't know.
It will be.
It will. Everything's gonna be expensive
Everything's
from
going to
now
be
on.
expensive.
It's gonna be crazy. I mean, I'm not getting political here, but from now on, everything is going to go up. And particularly anything has to do with natural resources like gas and propane, natural gas. I just filled up our tank before we went out, and I think I needed 5 gallons, and it was like $14 or something like that. So it's not terrible. Propane lasts forever, so I don't think it's going to be a bad problem. Jana with a question.
Is there a need for a battery jump starter if your battery goes dead in a remote spot? Or do you just call a service?
Great question. I just
Very
added
good
one of
question.
those myself this year. Basically, I added it because the car we keep in Florida, the battery was dead on it. And so I bought one of those little jump starters, but I'm now keeping it in the RV. And they're pretty amazing. I think I paid $80 for it at one of the auto supply stores. There's a million of them on the market, and it will jump start, with just a single charge. Just put it on the batteries, hit it on, and off you go. So for that kind of peace of mind, I would always have one of them, and I will from now on. Never have had one before, but I'm glad I do now. And if not, you use the service, the road service.
Where you like to camp. If you do like remote places that are a little bit hard to get to, it would be a good investment.
Yeah. And they're not
like you say, peace of mind.
And they're very small. They're so small.
Yeah.
John Gibson has a question.
On your wonder, did you get the macerator? If so, what is the best way for emptying the black tank with one? And there doesn't seem to be a lot of support for the question, the new owner.
I guess because it's so easy, John, that nobody thinks that anybody needs to know. But if you've never used one before, you need to know. So yes, we did get the macerator. We have had macerators on every RV we've owned. We really like them. They're neat, clean.
Doesn't ours have two?
Yes, ours also. The Wonder, you can get that as an option, and then it has the ugly old big round gravity fill dump too. That big one, but I've never used that. I just use the Macerator, and there's nothing to it. You pull out the little hose, you put it in the tank receptacle for the waste. You pull out the black handle first. That's your black tank. You flip a switch. The Macerator goes on, grinds up any solids, and it goes until it's empty. And you can tell when it's empty. You might try to check, pull it up, and look and make sure there's nothing coming out. You turn off the switch, push in the black tank, pull out the gray lever to empty your gray tank, flip on the Macerator switch. It empties it. And when that's empty, you take it out, put a cap on it, turn off the engine, the Macerator, of course, and then push in that gray water valve, and you're gone. You're done. It's so simple. I mean, it really is.
It's simple if you know how to do
but,
it.
you know, if they don't tell you, you say, well, what do you do? There's nothing to it. And
yeah, you don't want to break anything.
Yep. People have asked us to do a video on it. And I said, well, it'll last about 20 seconds, but maybe we should, because if there isn't one out there, I'd be happy to put one out. So I might empty ours. Ours is, yeah, I can empty ours now. I'll take it over to the RV dealer, and we'll use theirs. Cheryl has a question.
What is a CCC capacity on the FX?
I believe it's 14,258 pounds, or I'm sorry, 1,428 pounds, I believe is what it is. And I think you're talking about the OCCC, the occupant capacity, carrying capacity of it. So how much you can bring in gear and people and water and fuel, and not fuel. The fuel doesn't count on the thing, but so it's 1,400 pounds, and we've never come close to it. I should probably weigh ours again and see how it does. I did early on, and it was fine, but 1,400 pounds and change. Jim with the question.
Okay. Do you normally experience having to put your fob into the slot on your MB Sprinter? And then he has a 2020 LTV Unity twin bed, and normally need to put the fob into the slot about 90% of the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Put the fob into the slot, because the fob is just a little thing on your keychain, and you push it. However, what I do know is that the fob is very erratic. Sometimes you click it, it locks it. Sometimes you click it and unlock it. Sometimes it doesn't do anything. Sometimes you have to open the driver's side door and shut it and then try it. And I can't figure out the code with it. So I replaced mine this week. I bought a new lock, a combination lock, and I took out the existing lock we had and put a combination lock on, so I can punch in a code, and it will unlock or lock. And it also has a fob that works with its lock. So far, that's worked really well. And then it also has a key that you can manually lock. But the combination works great. And what did you think of it? We just put it on Wednesday.
I love it. It's so easy to work the little code to lock or unlock. I don't have to carry around that key and worry about losing it. We won't go there, because I have lost the key a couple of times, and they're very expensive. And it feels right. The handle, when you open the door, it just feels better.
Now, they say installing it is a 10-minute job, and so I picked it up in the late fall, and I kept saying, I'm going to go put it on.
And I kept saying, no, don't put it on. Why fix it if it's not broken?
And so I finally did it, and I am so glad that I had my friend Kyle at Holland Motorhomes in Holland, Michigan, put it on, because there were little glitches, not serious, but stuff that was beyond my toolkit. I didn't have the right tools to take care of those glitches. And you need a little expertise that mechanically I don't have. So we put it on, and it probably took Kyle a half hour, even with some adjustments he had to make to get it to fit right. But we love it. And we shot a video. I shot a video of the whole thing, and it will be out on the RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube in a couple of weeks. And we'll put a link to the lock we got. We'll put, if you don't mind, I'll use my Amazon affiliate link. and we'll put that as well. It's a great lock, and I'm going to put that on all of our RVs from now on. No more of those crazy fobs and how they don't work. Kristen Blank has a question.
Do you recommend to run the refrigerator while driving? Do you run the generator while driving?
No, you don't need to run the generator while you're driving because your engine and the alternator are charging the batteries. So you don't want to run the generator. And yes, we certainly do run the refrigerator while driving. Our refrigerator works on AC. If you're plugged into shore power, it works on DC on the batteries, the 12-volt batteries, and it also works on propane. So whichever one of those three, and you can set it for automatic, and it will always find one, and it runs. And we've been very pleased with our refrigerator.
And something you might want to get is just a little thermometer that you put inside just to check, what the temperature is, because we seem to have bad luck with getting it too cold or not cold enough. And I think that would just be a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good thing. Tim Hart.
Does your front driver and passenger seats recline when turned around? And are they electric or manual?
They're manual. They do not recline. They do flip. Both of them will go all the way around. They'll recline a little bit, but not very much.
I think something you don't realize, it's a little uncomfortable sitting in the driver's and the passenger seat because there's that 6-inch step. And so your legs are up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 6, maybe 4 inches, but the cab is a little lower than the motorhome part. So where you might rotate that chair around the driver's and the passenger side, you're still about 4 or 5 inches lower than the floor of the RV. So your feet are kind of high, and we don't find it very comfortable.
It's one of those little things that you don't notice
until you try it,
until you own it, and then you say, "Oh, I didn't notice that." Just a little thing. It's one of the like how much elbow room do you have in the shower, or how much room in the bathroom space. It's like you need to go inside and try these different things and take your time. Think about it.
And I don't think we would.
It's not bad.
We don't really sit in those chairs because of that. But if we had company, we'd put the company in it. No. But we'd have extra room for company.
Well, those chairs are comfy. And if you
they're very comfy chairs.
Watching TV, you'd want to sit in those chairs so that you could look at the TV. Otherwise, when we're sitting, we'd have to turn our neck.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like that.
But we don't watch TV, so we don't usually use those chairs very much. James Massey with the question.
Oh, Michigan weather is blown into Texas. Any advice to RVers on how to survive the single-digit temperatures and ice? Ice? Boy, stay home.
If you've got ice coming, grab some cardboard or something and put those on your windshield before the ice hits, so you don't have to worry about scraping it all off. And also it helps to pull your windshield wipers out. You can grab your windshield wipers and pull them out so they're sticking out. So they're not stuck on the glass. So you don't get them stuck with the ice. You'll eventually melt the ice.
Yeah, it'll melt eventually.
The other thing is just bundle up inside. There's a million videos on our YouTube channel. You can bundle up and watch them about winter camping because that's what you're going to be doing. You don't want your plumbing to freeze. Now, I saw tonight that parts of Texas were going to be like 6 degrees. Woo! Unbelievable. That's crazy. So those of you who are not winterized, you're going to have a real issue. Your pipes will definitely freeze when they're that cold if you've got water in them. So I don't know what to tell you in terms of being able to stay out of there, except, run a lot of heat inside, and you might have to run on some running water. But your plumbing is in danger of freezing when it gets down that cold. So the best thing I would suggest is get some antifreeze and try and get some of that into those pipes. But 6 degrees, not winterized, and if you've got water in those pipes, they will freeze.
And ice is just so treacherous to walk on.
We're going to talk about that. I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to get trolled. Yep.
Being at the dog park, the other people that we walk with have shown us and advised us on getting these cleats to wear
on your boots.
And I always imagine those vicious, metal cleats, but these are just the littlest thing. And we picked ours up at Dunham, and there's only
they slip right over your boot.
They slip over your boots, and
we did not bring them on this current trip, and we were up on the Lake Michigan shore. It was really neat. This ice was kind of just in these gentle waves. I wanted to get some video on it. So I climbed over the wall and I'm walking down the beach.
I didn't go with him. I should have gone with you.
And well, two of us. And I saw sand, that the snow had blown away and there was some sand. Oh, great. I can walk on the sand. That's good traction. It was a trick because there was a covering of ice, clear ice over the sand. So I hit that sand and I went, whoa, boom. And actually, that's how it feels when you're going, oh no, I'm slipping, I'm going to fall, I'm going to hit, it's going to hurt, what am I going to break? And then boom.
I was talking to our friends, and Rick had a look of horror on his face.
I hit hard. I'm still
and I saw
sore.
you trying to get up afterwards.
He's trying to get up and it's ice.
And then you saw where people had patched out.
Everybody had been falling, but the point is if there is ice where you are, be very careful.
Terrifies me.
Falling
snow
is not
I like.
fun.
Ice I don't like.
Yeah, it's fun because it looks so funny, and everybody who sees you fall is laughing, but it hurts. So here's Paul with the question.
What is your thoughts about full-time RVing?
I think it's great if you can live the lifestyle. If you're sure that that's what you want, absolutely. I think, though, to be really honest with you, a lot of people are caught up in the romanticism of it and get excited about it and haven't really counted the cost. I mean, it takes quite a commitment, and it takes, I think, a very unique personality to be able to full-time for any length of time in an RV.
You have a heart's desire to do that, go for it.
Well,
and you can
I would suggest
sell afterwards if you don't want to do it.
If you have a lot of experience with RVing and you want to do it, that's one thing. If you've never really done a lot of extended RVing and you want to do it, by all means, go try 2 to 3 weeks. Go try a month of living in an RV, and that will give you a real quick thing. I'd say a month, you'll be able to know whether this is really for you or not. I can tell you this, that most of the full-timers that we have seen tend to come off the road after about really from 3 to 5 years. You see one wave, and then you see another wave at about the 10-year mark. We've never been full-timers. We are about 3/4 timers on a normal year. Last year was not normal, but we still were gone about half the time, I think. We like having a sticks and bricks house to touch base with. We like having our condo in Florida, which is kind of our base of operations, so we can explore the South and Southwest in the winter.
Well, it's a rental property.
It's a rental property,
yes.
Right? It's not full time. Yeah. We rent it out during the peak season, which is summertime, which is when we're up here traveling in an RV. So it's not for us. I don't think we want to be full timers, but we're about 3/4 timers, and we're mighty glad to get home for a couple of weeks. Then we hit the road.
And about full timing, it depends on whether you're going to be in a B or
what kind of an
fifth
RV?
Wheel.
Whether you're going to stay in one place for a long time. I mean, like, let's face it, some of these people in their RVs are staying there like they're living in a mobile home court, a mobile home park,
And if you're by yourself, or how many people, and
if you're
how many
traveling
pets,
a lot, great.
And how much room you need.
Yep. Ray with the question. Did
I miss your new favorite bed covering?
That's coming too. You did miss it. We had 3 of them. We had 2. We have 2 of them that we just did a video on. And then you folks, somebody here told us about a product called Beddys, Beddys. And so we reached out to them, and we bought 2 Beddys. So
we're waiting for those to come.
So we have our super bag, which we've used for about 9 years. We're going to show you that. We just got a bunch of really great sheets, mattress pad, and blanket. So you can make our beds up like a traditional bed at home. And we set that up, and we're going to show you how that works out. That's what I slept on this week, as a matter of fact, when we were up winter camping. It was awesome. And in fact, they're arriving tomorrow, our Beddys. So we're going to hook up the Beddys, and we will give you a show and tell of all 3 systems. That'll probably be the week after next. Next week on our video is our preparing meals in advance. We shot 3 of our recipes that we took winter camping. And I just finished the rough cut edit of that tonight, and that will go on next Saturday. And that's really fun make-ahead recipes that you can take. And it's important to take a make-ahead recipe, whether it's during the warmer months or when you're winter camping.
Because of not being able to wash dishes most places that you go.
In the wintertime.
In the wintertime, it's best to make your mess at home and have your food all planned out so that you don't need to do dishes. All that one campground we went to, they even
did. It was
with the
open.
warm showers, they even had a sink where you could go do dishes. But it saves you a lot of grief if you can make your food ahead of time.
So we'll have the make ahead meals. That'll be coming up too, right? That'll be actually this coming Saturday. Anthony Borda.
Are you still using your electric bikes? If not, why? And how do you handle the weight of the bikes? Thank you, Tony.
Well, we're not using them in the winter. I wish we had fat tire bikes because I could use those in the snow. But yeah, we love our electric bikes. The problem was how to carry them along, and the way to do it is we kind of take one apart, the handlebars down, and lower the seat. We can get it in the garage of our RV, and the other one you can put on a hitch, a bumper hitch mount that we have for bikes. The bikes weigh about 60 pounds, 65 pounds each. So they are a little bit, you wouldn't be able to put them on a hitch, for example. Jennifer wouldn't. Well, she probably could, but, and I'll admit, kind of awkward and hard, and they're heavy. They're heavy bikes.
And anybody who has a pet knows that often it's hard to leave your pet. If you're in a campground, they could bark and it might be too hot, too cold, whatever. So pets cramp your style.
They do cramp your style, but we do have our bikes. We still use them, but we're not using them in the winter because there's snow on the ground. It's too cold. Hi, Nancy Jenkins up in Canada.
When can you and when can I come over the border?
Any problem? Well, yeah, it's closed. The Canadians are continuing to keep it closed, and I don't know, Nancy.
If we knew that.
Yeah, if we knew that, I'd be selling stock on something in RV parks in Canada. But the last I heard, people said not until spring will they open it. So, but they haven't said. They just keep extending it month by month. I think the 21st of February is when the current one expires. They usually announce that they're going to continue it about the week before. So the border's still closed. Don't know when it'll open. It's a lovely ride. Love that name.
I'm Elaine from Maine.
Massachusetts.
Oh, sorry. And I looked at a Road Trek SS Agile today. I'll be traveling solo. What is your knowledge based from your Road Trek days? We love that one.
Yeah, it's 19 feet. It's perfect for a solo traveler and a pet. You still have room for a guest if somebody's going to come camping with you, but it's very easy to handle. Handles much like an SUV. At 19 feet, you can get into any parking spot anywhere. Very comfortable. All the comforts of the main Road Trek. SS stands for short sprinter, so it's on that sprinter chassis, and it's just the shorter sprinter chassis, which is 19 feet versus the 22 to 23 feet for the longer sprinters.
I think you're going to love it. We know a lot of people who have that. And they really like it, and because you live out east, it's great.
Oh, wow. You're going to have a great
parking
time.
Spots,
Yep.
Smaller parking spots and to get around.
Nancy's back with another question.
I bought our Canadian Tire windshield cover and added a bonus cover for the side mirrors. What a difference the feel inside the van with the cover. I bet that keeps out the wind and the cold. I bet you that was a great investment. What did it cost?
It makes it sort of a little woman cave, right, Nancy? So that's pretty good.
I think anybody would love that.
Yeah,
that
makes
cover.
it nice and cozy.
What did it cost? I'm anxious to know what it cost.
I think she can't. I think Nancy doesn't have an RV. She's got I think it's an SUV of some sort.
Okay.
So that's good. Hey, Road Trek Buddy is here. He probably wants us to pick him up on the way on our next trip. $4.99 for a YouTube super chat. Thank you very much for that, Road Trip Buddy. And he asked us,
okay, what's for dinner? Did Mike cook, or did you get a heart-shaped pizza for delivery? And before I forget, pick me up. So
I did partially cook this. I ground the onions. We had some of the meals, the make-ahead meals that we took on our winter camping trip. One of the 3 recipes, which we'll share with you on Sunday, is a meatball recipe that we love for sandwiches, and just you can put it on spaghetti or whatever you want with them. And we had meatball sandwiches for dinner tonight, just before we came on the air. And
it was made up, and it was very easy.
And Road Trip Buddy, thank you very much for that super chat. Hey, while we're here, I wanted to give everybody a quick update on memberships and supporters, because we've got ways that you can help us. One of our goals is to be more member supported rather than corporate supported, advertising supported, big corporations, right? It's a pipe dream, I know, because there's no possible way that we could probably get enough supporters. But the more we are, the better it is. Our loyalty is to you. So we have two ways that you can choose to get to know us better. You get some special perks and a little closer access to it. One on Facebook, you can become one of our supporters there. And the other is to be a member, to join. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, there's a little button there called join, and you can click on that. Or we have a page that explains it all. If you just go to rvlifestyle.com/members, we invite you to be part of our support community. We are going to have a member supporters only gathering this summer, assuming, we can with COVID. We haven't announced any of the details yet, but we will be trying to figure that out as soon as we get a little better lay of the land in the next few weeks. That's one of the perks, and that's going to be pretty fun. We're going to try and do that in June. So check out the membership thing. Also, we do a podcast. I don't know if you all know that. We have a podcast. We have every Wednesday we talk about various issues. This week we're going to talk about some of the things that the industry is not telling you about the RV boom. And one of them is that all the campgrounds are booked up for the rest of the year. I mean, you think I'm kidding? Almost all of them. And the other thing is, because of this national shortage of parts, it's almost impossible to get a new RV built in a timely fashion. So we're going to talk about that in the podcast this Wednesday. Listen to that. It's called the RV Podcast. Also, do you know about our blog? So many people watch us on YouTube and our Facebook group, and they don't realize that we also have the RVlifestyle.com travel blog, and we have new content every day. So there we go. And I'll tell you about our book some other time. That's enough shameless self-promotion here. All right. We love getting your questions. So we'll go back to your questions and see what we can figure out now as we try and get a grasp of where we are. It's a lovely ride with a comment.
Okay, thanks for your feedback on the Road Trek Agile. I put a down payment on it today, pending inspection. I have a good feeling about it.
You are really a wise woman, getting an inspection. It's just like you buy a house. This is, for many people, an RV is the second most expensive purchase you'll ever make in your life, next to your house. And there's a whole network of certified RV inspectors, and it's always important. Inspect the engine, get all that checked out, and then check out all the appliances and all the RV things that you need to know about, the roof, the undermounting, and all that stuff. So great for you. I have a great feeling too. You're picking a perfect vehicle for a solo traveler.
Nothing but good things about that.
No, absolutely nothing. So Joe Piper. Oh, he said he's reminding us about the thumbs up. Yeah, we do. We need more thumbs up. See those little thumbs up that you can do? I think it's YouTube. I don't know if you can do that on Facebook or not either. I don't think you can do it on Facebook. But give us thumbs up on YouTube and go from there. What did I miss?
We've run out of questions.
Well, good. Good. It means we can get done a little earlier. We're 10 minutes early. That's awesome. That's awesome. We had a lot of people watching us tonight, so that's good. I'm losing my voice, and I tend to always lose my voice. Were they all behaving themselves today?
Chris was having a good time over on on YouTube, and
I always mean to give a shout out to Chris Cowley, who's over on our YouTube, keeping Herd over there.
So what were they up to?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh, okay.
There were a couple of things over on Facebook that we'll deal with over on Facebook. Nana Betty just showed up with a question about sleeping bags, and you just said that whole thing about your sleeping bags and your sleeping sheets and everything. So maybe just repeat that one more time, and then.
Okay. Well, let me see your question. We'll go from there. And
okay.
Then,
all right.
Thank you.
There it goes.
Okay, I just showed up. I have a question. What kind of sleeping bag do you use? You mentioned it once.
RV super bag. And
but don't get that yet. Give it a couple breaks, because we're trying out a new one this week that we just picked up called Beddy's, Beddys. It's kind of a hybrid version of the RV super bag, right?
Well, you can go online and look at videos. Of,
RV
both
super
of them.
bag, but we're going to do a big video, so let's not.
Okay,
we'll have a big
there.
one, but check them out if you want. It should be there.
RV super bag. We've had it for 9 years. We've got a king and we've got 2 twins, and we love them.
Radu, how many RVs have you had? Let's see. We've had the Wonder. We've had the Unity. We've had the CS Adventurous. We've had the RS Adventurous. And
we had about 5 road treks.
Yeah, and about 5 road treks. So, and we always say the one we have is the one we like the best, obviously. So, and we're having fun with the one we have. He says, I believe you have Battleborn, but did you consider Lithronics? Any opinions on? I've never heard of Lithronics. They're probably newer. I've heard a whole lot about Battleborn before we even reached out to that company and ended up with theirs. So no, the other ones we've heard, I can't remember the other name, but Battleborn is just so nice. They just drop right in, and these guys really know. They figured out all the cabling. It interfaces perfect with our solar and the solar controller. And they have a 10-year warranty on them. And so I was just thrilled with Battleborn. We've had them in our previous RV, and we've got them in this one. Boondocking Bakers.
Heading to Georgia, then Florida this Friday for our first 6-week adventure. When was your first month-long road RV trip? And do you remember it?
Like it was yesterday, and it was 9 years ago.
We went out west.
We went from Michigan to Yellowstone, and we stopped everywhere along the way and on the way back. And I think it was a 6 or 7 week trip, wasn't it? It was a long time. But we remember it well. Kevin.
My wife and I are really looking at the Unity FX, but there are none to actually see. Order is 18 to 24 months. Any suggestions on how to see one?
Well,
that's tough.
If you really want to physically see one, I was at Holland Motorhomes in Holland on Wednesday. That's where we installed that door lock I told you about, and I installed my ham radio and did a couple other things. And I saw an older model Unity in their parking lot. I said, "Oh, you got a used one?" And they said, "No, it's just in for some repairs," and they have none. What happens is, and this is true of many of the most popular dealers, the dealers get an allocation. Let's take a step back. The manufacturers, the Sprinters, the Fords with the Transit, the Sprinters from Mercedes-Benz, they allocate so many of them to the manufacturers. And then the manufacturers get all those chassis, and they in turn allocate so many of those to their dealers. And a typical dealer that sells a lot of them may get 20 or 30 a year, and that's it. When they've sold that, they don't get any more. And so that's what's happened to almost all of these deals. Now, some of the Thors and the Winnebagos that make 400 of them a day, like on an assembly line, I don't know what the wait time is for those. I don't think it's nearly as long as it is for like Leisure and some of the other more popular brands, the more boutique brands, I guess I'll say, that are family owned, and they're not mass produced in the sense of, so many a day. It's 18 to 24 months. That's how much the demand is. And the big reason is, one is they didn't get, the manufacturers of the chassis are so stingy in releasing them. One of the reasons why is because Amazon has bought up almost all the Sprinters that Mercedes can possibly make. And now the Transit, as well as the Dodge Rams, they're buying those up for crazy for the Amazon delivery service. And the other reason now that manufacturers are taking so long is because of the national parts shortage. You saw GM shut down and Ford shut down factories because they can't get these chips that they need. You've seen all these boats that are lined up, all offshore in California for days on end trying to unload because of COVID and lots of politics and other stuff. They're having issues getting the parts in and getting them processed at our ports. this national parts shortage is affecting every industry, but particularly the RV industry right now. I had one manufacturer tell me that they had something like 60 to 70, 80 made. They're all done. They're all built and all set, except they can't get toilets for them or a water pump or the awnings that they need because of the parts shortages that are available that are still out there. Most of those stemmed from the shutdown from COVID last year. Thus, the effects of all of this are, they shut down for 2 months. Well, that's not going to be just a 2-month delay in the short. It's just a mess out there. All that's to say, we're going to talk more about this in the podcast coming up, but you can't find these things. You really can't. So they're being bought sight unseen. When somebody puts a new one up on the marketplace, they're bought sight unseen, and it's going to be hard for you to see these things. Captain's Table.
Have you guys ever visited the Iowa 80 truck stop in Iowa?
We did the first year we were there, and I think we did one other year coming back. And it's they call it, I think, the world's biggest truck stop. And I don't know if it really is anymore, but it's pretty famous. And it's just a big truck stop, with a lot of souvenir stuff. But it's fun. It's worth seeing. We're running close. Well, we got a little bit of time. Leslie Connolly.
With your road trek, did you ever leave one battery on at a time when you weren't traveling?
I would. See, we always leave our RV plugged in. I have a 30 amp supply if it's in my garage, or if it's in my yard, my driveway. If we're sitting someplace and it's just sitting there for a week, I usually will keep one of the lithium batteries on. I would not keep an AGM battery, but the lithiums can handle a week. If I know I'm not going to use it at all, I'll turn them all off because why have it on? But a lithium battery, if you're not having a big drain, you can leave it on for a few days, even if you're not traveling. If it's a longer period of time, turn them off. Just easier.
Jim?
Jim. Yeah, I'm sorry. Jim says.
Right. Does your Wonder Van have an external solar connector for a portable solar panel?
No. It doesn't, but it's got 4 panels on the roof. It's got 200 watts of panel on the roof. So I don't have.
So how does that work?
If you don't have any panels, you can if you buy a solar connector, a solar controller, because you got to get the solar, but the solar power goes into a controller, and then the controller distributes it to the battery, and you can tap into that. You can get a controller and tap into a panel, a portable one. If you buy one of those portable ones, they have it all set for you. Paul Bannister.
Okay, just checking. Would you have any information on a campground in the Irish Hills area, not too many miles from you in Michigan?
There's a million of them in the Irish Hills. Irish Hills is kind of a neat area. It's really south and west of Ann Arbor and a little bit east of Jackson and south of Jackson. And it's a real nice hilly area, lots of little lakes and lots of RV players. A lot of those little RV parks are seasonal rentals. They'll have a few openings for people coming through, but very popular. There's a million of them out there. None that comes to mind that I can recommend now. Jerry,
will you be going to the Escape in Rock Springs, Wyoming?
The Escapees Escapade. If we're out that way, we'd stop by, but I don't know. We're members of the Escapees. We think it's a great RV club, but right now, we're kind of taking everything day by day. Last year, we overplanned everything, and we were so confident that the COVID shutdowns would not last that we kept our plans, and then we had to cancel everything. It was very disappointing. So this year, we're kind of going month by month, and we'll see how it goes. Roger Stambaugh.
It's a seller's market for LTV now. Do you expect that to change after the COVID era?
No, I don't. I think, maybe 4 or 5. I think we're 4 or 5 years from this seller's market flipping around and changing. For a while, I thought we'd start to see a lot of used RVs on the market this year, but that's not going to happen. If somebody puts them up for sale, they're going to be immediately gone again. So I think that this boom is going to continue. What I think is the biggest threat now that COVID hopefully is on the wane, the biggest threat is the lack of campgrounds. The industry keeps telling you, and they show you all these pictures of these idyllic locations. And the fact of the matter is most campgrounds are booked up now for the entire season. All of them, all the good ones you can't get in. And that's going to kill the RV boom more than anything else. So the industry's trying. We're going to go visit a brand new campground in Florida, for example, that opened. We're going to go to see that in about a month, and we'll let you know about that. But man, they've got to build a lot more campgrounds fast to keep up with the demand. Dave with the question.
Can the OB organizers be installed without drilling holes?
No. Well, maybe some of them, but no, you got to drill some holes in a couple places to hang those nets. We like them, but you got to put some in there. James.
Looking forward to a ham radio video.
Yeah.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. I got my list of about 7 videos now that are in various stages of being shot and or edited.
And then I'm bugging them because I wanted to get one more winter trip in.
We just got back. She wants to go up again. Maybe we will. Maybe we will next week. But we're off to Florida, we hope, at the end of the first week in March. Have you been to St. Augustine? There's somebody like, have we been to St. Augustine?
Yes, we have.
Jolene, you need to check out our book on, actually we have a whole bunch of different travel guide books, but we have a book on the East Coast of Florida. We have a book on the Gulf states of Florida. We have a book on the Keys, on the Keys. We have a 3-package book for you on Florida, but the St. Augustine on the historic coast, check out our book at rvlifestyle.com.
And we have a video.
Books. And we have a video. On the RV Lifestyle channel, Jolene, there's a great big video we did on St. Augustine. Love it. It's called The Historic Coast. And check it out. You can check the video or check our books or our blog post at RV Lifestyle.
It's a lovely place to go.
RVlifestyle.com. We just did a blog post on St. Augustine this week. RVlifestyle.com. Radu.
What do you use to hang up pictures without hammering nails in your wall?
I have, gosh, I can't. I use a picture called Mixed Tiles, Mixtiles. And if you see our videos, you see pictures on the wall, and those basically just glue on the wall, and those are framed by this company called Mixtiles. So Mixtiles will take your all your photos from your smartphone, whichever one you want, and you send it to them. And for like a real reasonable price, they will print that up, and it's glassless, but it's protected so the colors won't fade. They'll send you them right back, and you peel off this little stick, put it on the wall, and it stays up with all the bumping. They stay up. So we use those. We don't drill holes for the pictures, but they stay up great. They're nice. All right, winding down. We're going to just do a couple more here as we kind of wind up this Valentine's Day edition of the show. Jan Wood.
I don't know where everybody is meeting in Ontario again in April. We live in Kingston and would like to join.
Well, we can't go to Canada. You won't let us in. so we have no plans to go to Canada this year. But I don't know of anything up there. I'm sure that some of the Canadians are doing some stuff. So don't know. Cheryl.
Have you ever stayed at a Boondockers Welcome?
Yeah.
site?
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. They list lots of places where people will openly let you stay in their backyard or in their driveway. We're big fans of Boondockers Welcome, and it's a great, and this is what will save RVing. Places like Boondockers Welcome, places like Harvest Host. There's a couple of other ones that are out there that are like peer-to-peer, where you can trade your spot for somebody else's spot. We'll figure this all out, we RVers, but the campground industry is woefully behind in being able to have enough sites. And not, it's not fun camping in a jam-packed campground. I don't think. That's just our style. All right, Marion.
Okay, what is your opinion of the Thor Gemini?
Nice. Thor's makes some really nice units. They're on a tear. They're building a lot of stuff and a million different models. We've not had one. We have seen them and gone through them, I think, at a show or two, but I can't give you any more other than the fact that we know a lot of the folks at Thor who are behind the company, and they're good people, and I think that's they're going to do real well with the Gemini and the Compass. And Chris Colley reminds everybody, if you're looking for more tips, there's our Facebook group. And it's a great, we've got almost 46,000 members of Facebook now. If you ever have an issue, a question that you need immediate answers on, you're stumped, something's not worrying, you're worried about your pipes freezing, what do you do? That question we had earlier. If you go on our Facebook group at that address right there, you'll get an answer in like 30 seconds from people. So
like where to camp, because you're new in an area, and somebody out there's probably been to that area and glad to tell you where to go.
I think we have the most helpful and robust RV community on our Facebook group, our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, that you'll find anywhere. Hey, thank you, Chris, for being over there on YouTube. Thank you, Phyllis. I'm going to bring you back just to say goodbye to everybody as we wind down another edition of the show. So I thought you said there were no questions. They all came right in there.
That happens, you say there's no questions and then they just fill up. So it was just a flurry of questions after that. So we got to most of them. Again, if we didn't answer them, the Facebook group is the place to go. Or if you're in the supporters group over on Facebook, the membership area, we can answer them there directly.
And same with our members group on YouTube as well. Phyllis Kerr, thank you for being there tonight. Always a pleasure to see you. Keep that snow and cold in Iowa, although I know it's coming here to Michigan, where we're coming to you tonight from. So thank you so much, Phyllis.
Good night.
All right. Phyllis Kerr, who is safe. There we go. I scared you there, didn't I?
Yeah.
I just got to sign right off. And again, thanks to Chris Colley over there on Facebook. That was a lot of fun. On YouTube, not Facebook, YouTube. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
So we are done for another night. We will be back next. Where are we going to be next week? We're going to probably be still in Michigan, I think. Right?
Yes.
As far as I know, we are anyway. So come and join us 7:00 live on all these different social media channels for Ask Us Anything. Check out the blog, rvlifestyle.com. New content every single day. And we thank you guys for your support, your kindness, all your well wishes during our birthday week. And to all of you, we wish you a very, very happy Valentine's Day.
And happy trails.